Hey guys, and welcome back to A Kinda Crafty Kenzie. I'm Kenzie. It looks an awful lot like Christmas outside, so let's make some DIYs. So we're going to get started today by using this Christmas bulb sign that I got from the Dollar Tree. I just went ahead and removed that little bulb metal piece, and I started to remove the paper, and then I said heck with it and just flipped it over. So I gave it 2 good coats of white chalk paint and then used my heat gun to go ahead and dry it to move this project along. You guys, the heat gun, if you don't have one, get one. It is like the best investment ever, especially if you do a lot of painting and don't have like a ton of time to wait for paint to dry. Life is too short to wait for paint to dry, you guys. So then I just went ahead and got some branches outside, literally just went down in my backyard, tried to get some of like these nice smooth looking ones. The ones with like the rougher bark are really pretty, but the bark tends to just fall apart and fall off anyway and make like a huge mess. So then I just took my miter shears and just cut up a bunch of like sticks, I guess you could say. I don't know. Obviously, I'm making a like really rustic Christmas tree or pine tree, whatever, Christmas tree, I don't know. And so I'm just cutting up the pieces of wood to go ahead and get that accomplished. After I had it all laid out, I did go back and like trim or maybe exchange, or just make sure they all fit nicely, but kind of like as it went up, it got shorter.
I'm coming home to you. I'm coming home, yeah. Yes, I'm coming home.
So once I had all the pieces in the order that I wanted, I removed them from the bulb so that I could distress it. I went ahead and used the elephant chalk paint by Waverly. I really love that gray. It's like a really nice deep dark gray, and I wanted the natural wood tone of that real wood to really pop off of this, so I didn't want to use brown and everything kind of blend in. Y'all might hear my kids going crazy right now. But anyway, and then I just went ahead and like kind of dry brushed through like the base of it so it wasn't so monotone white. Then I went piece by piece and glued the tree onto the bulb. Like I said before, I made sure I laid them to the side in the correct order. If you guys remember, if you haven't seen it, I did a little tree shadow box DIY a couple videos back, and I just popped the pieces off, and then there I was putting them like back in order as I'm trying to glue them. So I made sure that I took the extra second to lay them in the order they're supposed to go. So I definitely wanted to keep with the rustic feel of this and like the really natural tone of it. So I didn't want to put a pre-made star from like the store. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and make a star out of smaller pieces of like the stick. Guys, I'm so embarrassed with how challenging this was. I literally cannot get a star shape for the life of me. At one point, I had all 3 kids here like, Mom, come on, it's a triangle, and then a bottom piece, that I literally had to draw a star out and then be like, oh, okay, this one. I don't know why I couldn't get it to work. I'm embarrassed, but you know what? This piece will always have a story because it's the first star I ever made, just like, out of twigs. And I'll remember this, that I cannot get that star shape to like come into my head and out through my fingers. It just, I don't know. So anyways, once I had it drawn and I had something to go off of, I was totally fine. And that's what I did. I just went ahead and glued the star together.
Christmas memories, oh, and I've been longing to hold you close, forget about everyone else. Isn't this how
So after it was all glued down and everything was all set, I went ahead with some white chalk paint and just went over the tree to kind of give it that like snowy look. I really think that just does something for it. Then I have these pieces of like berry garland. You can't buy this. These are like a really nice dark, almost like a brown garland, a berry garland. I got it from the Dollar Tree, but I actually took it off of the tree on the red truck. You're gonna see me do a red truck project here in a little bit, and that's where I got this. I took the garland off of those trees. So that's just what I did on those, just to kind of give it a little something. And then I just took a piece of this faux burlap and just tied a knot in the top, and that's it, you guys. That will complete this project. I really love how it's like super rustic, really natural, and it was so simple. All I spent was $1 on the sign, and just go outside and find a stick, and you got yourself a really pretty rustic farmhouse Christmas tree bulb. Just kidding, not done yet. So I just went ahead and took some like natural color twine and just wrapped it around the trunk just to give it a little something more. So for this project, I'm using 2 of these little like rectangular boxes. I had every intention to use those trees, and I'm using that little farmhouse ornament, tree farm ornament barn thing. They come in a 3-pack at Dollar General. So I just went ahead and glued these 2 pieces together. This is gonna make like a base, as you're gonna see, and then I just gave it, I think I had to give it 3 coats of the Kills white chalk paint. Kills is not my favorite chalk paint to work with for my DIYs. I don't mind it for furniture because you're not trying to cover like crazy coloring or letters and stuff. I prefer Waverly or folk art, but this was all I had. I mean, I scrambled for white chalk paint for like a week. I was like scraping bottles. So my husband and I had this outside in our work shed from previous projects where we kind of DIY'd some furniture, so thank goodness. But anyways, like I said, it took multiple coats, so that's why I pulled the old heat gun out. So then I decided to just give this little tree farm barn a good facelift. I went ahead and used some of my burnt umber in the apple barrel acrylic paint. You guys, you can get it super cheap, like 50 cents a bottle from Walmart. So worth it. Such a pretty color. So I just went ahead and painted the base of the little barn, barn. There we go. And the door, I went over it. The door and the little piece on the bottom is like a wood, but this piece in a painting right here, that's actually kind of just like a foam. So it took a couple coats to do the foam part, but it was so worth it in the end. And then you'll see me go ahead and take some of my barn red, I don't know, the barn something. It's barn red. There we go. There it is. Another 50-cent paint that you can get from Apple Barrel at Walmart, and it took like 4 coats to get this because this is also cardboard that I'm painting right here, and it's like super shiny, almost reminds you of like aluminum foil on cardboard. Really dumb, but that's how they make this stuff so expensive, you guys. Anyways, like I said, it took multiple coats. It was so worth it because it looks so good in the end. I'm so glad I did it. So then I went ahead and took one of these stickers off of this sticker sheet that you can get from Dollar General. They have the cutest window clings and stickers there, you guys. You've got to check them out if you haven't already. So I just went ahead and placed that there. There's that barnyard all done. Doesn't look so much better, you guys. Oh, it's just crazy what a little paint can do to something. So then I took some of these little teeny tiny brushes that you can get from the Dollar Tree. You can get them from Walmart, Amazon. You can get them everywhere. I have a whole bunch I got from the Dollar Tree because I love incorporating these little tiny trees everywhere. And then I just wanted everything to match. So I took that burnt umber color and I went ahead and painted the base of the little trees because they were gold. So I covered that gold up. Then I just took this little truck and tree ornament that you get in a 5-pack for $1 from Dollar Tree, and I took that same barnyard, but why did I say barnyard? Barn door red. There we go. And painted the truck with it. And then I went over it with some burnt umber to distress it a little bit. And then here I'm taking another apple barrel. This is my favorite green ever. Nothing screams pine to me like this color, but it's actually English ivy. Again, from Walmart for 50 cents. And then now I'm taking the burnt umber. There we go. I was ahead of myself. Now, just dressing it a little bit with that burnt umber. And then I'm just going to take one of my paint markers that I got from Amazon. Those are linked below in the description box. You guys, I swear by paint markers. If you do a lot of DIYs, you need paint markers. They are bomb.com, you guys. So I just went ahead and colored in the tires, and then I did like that center, I guess that's the rim of the tire. I did it with like a really metallic-y silver, and I thought it looked really good because it just kind of popped off really good. But I just distressed the whole truck, and yeah, there we go. And then I'm pretty sure I took some white paint and went over it to give it some snow look. I'm getting ahead of myself though. I'm talking faster than I can paint apparently. But yeah, so you'll see what I'm doing.
'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas moment we'll fill with love and joy. Love and so beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. With you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh. It was the night before Christmas.
So of course the little truck needed a stand to stand on. So I just took two of these pieces from the mini tumbling tower that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I know you can get the larger size too, you know, like the Jenga block style. I haven't been able to find them ever. I've only been able to find the little ones. So if you're lucky enough to find the big ones, grab some and stash them because I'm literally using real Jenga pieces. How many boxes of Jenga can you accumulate, you know? But so anyways, so I just painted it burnt umber to kind of make everything cohesive, and then I just went around the barn with some white chalk paint to give it that snowy look. And then here I am just kind of sprucing up the trees a little bit with some white chalk paint, giving them a little more of a snowy look and a little bit on their bases. And then I just glued the two little tumbling tower pieces together, which I also put a little bit of white chalk paint on, of course, to make it look like snow. And then I just glued the truck down. If you're very delicate, it will stay. But if you're going to use this style like an ornament, like I have in the past, I definitely recommend putting a little something behind the tire to kind of give it a little more stability. But I glue him right onto that base there, so it's fine. Nobody touches it. But so in case you haven't noticed yet, we're making a Christmas tree farm. So I'm sure you picked up on that already. So anyways, I'm just gluing the trees to the front of the barn here, and then I just glue everything down onto this stand.
And somehow we knew that we'd found something true, and that everything would change from now on. Yes, from this Christmas on,
So I think this stand was super cute as is, but I did decide to go in and add some of my fairy lights that I had. I get these off of Amazon. I got like 24 of them for like $23, and they take those little replaceable watch batteries, so I just went ahead and ordered like a pack of those too. It was super inexpensive, and they actually last longer than the Dollar Tree ones. They're actually better quality if you ask me, so I'll link those below for you. But I thought the little touch of lights in the trees and the kind of around the base of like the snow there is super cute. I loved it. So I was super proud of this, you guys. I thought this was absolutely adorable. My kids thought it was the cutest thing. So this next project, I actually got this yard stake sign from Family Dollar. I got it for $1 as well. I wasn't sure. I don't know if you guys know, but like Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, and Dollar General are like all owned by the same corporation. So that's why you'll sometimes see some of like Dollar Tree's products in Family Dollar and Dollar General and be like, well, what's that doing here? And watch, because sometimes they try to charge a little bit more for it. So don't be fooled, guys. Anyways, I don't know why I decided to paint this tree elephant gray. I had an idea in mind. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know why. I think I knew that my white chalk paint wasn't going to cover this green without like a million coats. So I was like, well, I'll just do it in reverse. Instead of doing white and accenting in gray, I'll do gray and accenting in white, but you'll just have to see how it goes. So anyways, I am trying to do the Kirkland dupe of the very expensive tree with like the little beads all the way around the edges. I think that is such a super pretty tree, and I wanted to recreate it. So I got this pack of half beads at Amazon, and as you can see, they come in 4 different sizes. And yes, I had to take a minute from painting and organize them all because it was bothering me. So then I went ahead and placed them all on this tree and glued them down. I figured you guys didn't want to see that, so I kind of just skimmed right over that part. It took some time. It was quite tedious, but one good thing, I didn't burn myself one time. So it was a successful project. So then I just took some of these planks from Dollar Tree that you can get. They're very hard to find at my Dollar Tree, so if you find them at yours, stock up on them. I couldn't cut this thing for anything. I tried scissors, I tried an X-Acto knife, and finally my husband handed me a real blade and was like, cut with this, and it did it. So I just cut it, and then I sanded it to kind of smooth it out. And what I'm doing is just making the base, as you can see. There's the big Jenga blocks that I've talked about, and I just painted everything to match. So I went ahead and painted everything in that elephant chalk paint color, that nice dark gray color. And then you'll see what I'm going to do here in a little bit. But anyways, I glued part of it down to like make the trunk, and then I used the other half for the base. So it only took one of the square planks, if you know what I mean, like, because I cut it in half. So it barely even costs $1 either. So if you want to be really technical, this project cost $1 for this stake. And then I just, like I said, I painted these Jenga style blocks, tumbling tower blocks. It's not like the actual Jenga. And I just painted the trunk and then the base to match. So after all that was painted and I dried it with my heat gun, I went ahead and attached the tree to the tumbling tower pieces, and then I went ahead and painted the plank and then put it all together.
Christmas decorated in town. Among all the tinsel and lights, I'm strolling around. Just wondering where you have gone to. Are you just around the corner or in Kathmandu?
Then I went in with my favorite distressing brush and I gave it a really heavy coat of the white chalk paint. I didn't even start out light. I knew I was going heavy right from the bat. And what actually happens is I actually go super heavy to where there's like barely any gray showing. I didn't get full coverage on the beads on purpose. I wanted a little bit of that natural tone to shine through. You'll see in the end. If I could do it again, I would definitely change my color scheme and I would probably spray paint the beads so I could maybe get full coverage. I don't know. It's not ideal. I do love the way it turned out. I think it's really pretty and I think it's like very rustic, very farmhouse, very different, but I just don't know about the colors. So like I said, I do change the color pretty significantly. You'll see here in a little bit. It's pretty much white by the time I'm done.
From the ground up, a beautiful wife, 2 kids, and a dog pup. Still sometimes I wonder if you're near or off yonder, though I couldn't tell you why. But wherever you are, near or afar, outside my door or in some airport bar, I still wish you, baby.
So here is a tree with the dark gray with white on top, and then here it is with a lot more white. I definitely like this look better than the heavy gray, but I think if I could do it all over again, I would definitely do more of like a warm tone brown. I did want like I said, the natural tone of the beads to shine through, but I'm just not super satisfied with the color, so I don't know, I might just do it over, who knows. Okay, so for this next project, I have this sign here from Five Below that I had bought last Christmas season, and I had every intention to use it for something, but apparently I never did. So I decided to rip it apart and DIY it. So I took this Dollar Tree truck. I finally was able to find 2 of these. If you guys didn't see my last haul video, you'll have to go check it out because I finally found some trucks. And then I just ripped the trees off the trucks. I took both of them off both trucks because I had every intention to use both trees. I actually only end up using the one, but that's where I got that berry garland that I used in the first DIY. So I went ahead and painted these trees with a Christmas green, and I don't like it. I mean, it's a pretty green, but I just don't like it. I really love that hunter green look, so I really wish I would have stuck with my English ivy, but oh well, live and learn again. So we all know I don't like gold and I don't like glitter, so I went over these letters the best I could with my paint marker in white. I did like 2 coats. I didn't want to do much more though because it was starting to bleed. So then I just took some white chalk paint and gave the trees like a really heavy duty coating of like the snow look.
I don't know what he's thinking when he'd rather spend his Christmas holiday with someone else. I guess he stopped thinking about me. Yeah. I don't know what he's thinking when he says that he's been driving all night, all day to celebrate Christmas with me. But he's not here, and I'm not there. I don't know what he wants now, but I don't care. Yeah. Oh, he ain't ringing my bells no more. He missed out on love, and that's for sure. He ain't ringing my bells no more. He missed out on love, and that's for sure. I I don't know what he wants now, and I don't know why he said all the things he said to me. It means nothing to me now, 'cause there will be someone who would not complain to drive all night, all day, to celebrate Christmas with me.
Then I just went around the truck with some of the white chalk paint to kind of give it that snowy look. And then I went around it with some of the burnt umber. I really love to do that because one, it's a farm truck. It's never going to be clean. It's always going to be dirty. Two, I just think, when do you ever see a car with like really white, pretty snow on it? It's usually like ashes and dirt and stuff all over it. So I kind of love to add like that look to it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so used to having a dirty vehicle that I don't know what they look like clean. But so that's what I did here to the truck.
That's for sure. You ain't ringing my bells. No. You ain't ringing my bells no more. He missed out on love, that's for sure.
So then I took some of this scrapbook paper that I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm not a big scrap paper user in my DIYs. I'm not really sure why. I don't know. It's so easy to use and so much faster than painting. But I don't know. I always end up painting. But anyway, so do you like my fancy measuring technique? I just pressed it down and cut it. And then, ding dong, me remembered, oh yeah, the back comes off. That would have been easier. So I just lined it up, Mod Podged it. Cut the other side to match. I even lined up the wood guy so it looked like it went like in a nice flow, and just glued 2 pieces of the scrapbook paper down. Goodness, words in me. Okay, so yeah, that's all we did here. So I've learned with the trick with Mod Podge is to make sure your bottom layer is decently dry before you go ahead and Mod Podge the top. That really cuts down on wrinkles. So after I did that, I just sanded it, and then I went ahead and sanded the frame because it's not wood, it is plastic. And I had a funny feeling paint wasn't going to take to it. And I definitely did not make the right decision by choosing the Waverly wax, because that was never going to dry, and it didn't. It sat for like 3 hours. I kept taking my heat gun to it. It would not dry. So finally I went in and I rubbed a lot of it off that would come off. I just rubbed it off. And I went in with burnt umber and it dried right up. So this project, it was such a headache. Anyways, so then I just glued the tree back to the truck and then went in with some fairy lights and wrapped it around the tree. Then I just went ahead with my hot glue and just put glue where the truck was actually going to touch the frame, which was like on the front bumper and the bottom of the tires. Then I just took this sheet of wall stickers that you can get from Dollar General for $1. They are so worth it. They are so cute, and I use the entire sheet. So they're sticky already, so I did not Mod Podge the back of them before I attached them onto the scrapbook paper. I just, after they were all attached and I liked where they were, then I went in and just took some Mod Podge over top of them, and then I went ahead and just Mod Podged over the truck as well.
A sunny day, but it's cold outside. It tingles in my heart. Breathing air that clears my mind. I'm all for a good start. I hear those jingle bells, people singing about love. It feels like I'm a kid, like I'm forever young. And that's why I wanna sing about the Christmas on its way. A reason to hang around and celebrate this day. Everyone's smiling and it's snowing. It's the time of year again. I'm happy you're here, my winter wonderland. I'm walking around making small talk with people that pass me by. I share a laugh, it gives me joy that everyone's having a good time. I hear those jingle bells, people singing about love. It feels like I'm a kid, like I'm forever young. And that's why I wanna sing about the Christmas on its way. A reason to hang around and celebrate this day. Everyone's smiling and it's snowing. It's the time of year again. I'm happy you're here, my winter wonderland. No, it's the time of year, winter wonderland. My winter wonderland. It's the time of year, my winter wonderland, my winter wonderland. I wanna sing about the Christmas on its way.
I think this turned out really cute. My husband absolutely loves this. He loves the red truck, and he just thought this was really cool. It looks super cute in our home. The only thing I would have did differently was, like I said, paint that tree a different color and maybe not use such a dark scrapbook paper for my backing. But other than that, I am super happy with how it came out, and I think it is absolutely adorable.
Winter wonderland. A sunny day, but it's cold outside. It tingles in my heart. Breathing air that clears my mind. I'm all for a good start. I hear those jingle bells, people singing about love. It feels like I'm a kid, like I'm forever young. And that's why I wanna sing about the Christmas on its way. A reason to hang around and celebrate this day. Everyone's smiling and it's snowing. It's the time of year again. I'm happy you're here, my winter wonderland. I'm walking around making small talk with people that pass me by.
Thank you guys so much for coming along with me today while I created these DIYs. I had so much fun making them. I'm really trying to push myself a little bit and do projects that I think that would challenge me more. And I hope these inspired you to go ahead and get your creative juices flowing and your hot glue guns out and see just what you can do if you put your mind to it. Guys, I never thought I would be a crafter, but here I am. All I can say is my grandma would be so proud. But I'm so glad you came along. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know which one was your favorite. And if you aren't subscribed, I hope you'll subscribe and join my family here on YouTube. I'd love to have you. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.